For some of us, our birthdays go completely as planned and become cherished memories filled with laughter, cake, and the warmth of loved ones. But for Emilee O'Hara, her 15th birthday was the beginning of something no one could have planned for. Something that would change everything. The next morning, Emilee woke up with a headache. A simple headache. "Let's get you checked out," her mother suggests. A sinus infection, a prescription, reassurance that everything would be fine. However, it wasn't just a sinus infection.
Emilee was a freshman at Perry High School at the time of her stroke. She was a force on and off the field, as she played on the JV soccer and track team, always pushing herself, always giving her best. But if you really wanted to know Emilee, you'd find her here.
Hey guys, it's Emilee here today. Hey guys, it's Emilee here today. Hey guys, it's Emilee, and today I'll be doing a video on a no makeup look. We are here, and guess what the mystery place is?
Singing, creating, and sharing her heart through music and art.
What it looks like, it looks so stunning.
But how could someone so healthy experience such a catastrophic event?
What started as a simple headache had become something far more dangerous. Emilee's condition was getting worse. A CT scan would reveal the unthinkable. Emilee had a clot, a bleed, and had suffered a stroke. Faced with limited options, her parents were given an impossible choice: attempt a high-risk mechanical thrombectomy or do nothing at all. They chose to fight. But as the procedure ended, another cruel twist unfolded. She was unknowingly battling a rare clotting disorder, and almost immediately, a new clot formed. In a matter of hours, Emilee's world had changed. The birthday candles, the celebration, now replaced with machines, hospital gowns, and an uncertain future. She was intubated at Phoenix Children's Hospital and placed in a medically induced coma for 2 weeks.
I'm Amanda and Emilee's sister. I am 22 years old.
At the time, how did doctors explain what was happening to Emilee?
So during that time, it was like when the peak of like COVID was happening and everything. So we didn't really get a chance, like myself, to talk to any doctors. It was my parents who brought her in. No one was allowed in except them. The only time I spoke to the doctors, it was maybe like a few days after she went in. Basically, they told us she had the brain bleeding and the brain clotting, and that even though she went through surgery, they didn't think she was going to make it. They were telling my brother and I that she was either not going to make it, or if she did, she was going to be in a vegetative state. So basically they had brought us in to say goodbye to her.
How do you remember feeling when you first found out Emilee suffered a stroke?
So initially, at first, it took me a while to process it, just because you don't think like anything could happen to someone that close to you, like something like that. And then also she was so young. So at first I was kind of in denial. I didn't think it was real. I didn't want to believe it was happening. It was probably one of the worst feelings I felt in my life, because you know, it's my younger sister. I went through like blaming myself, like thinking maybe I could have done something to prevent it, or I should have known sooner. When she first went into the primary care doctors and they told her she had a sinus infection, I don't think they checked her well enough, so I don't think those concerns were taken as seriously. So they had diagnosed her with the sinus infection, even though my parents had told them over and over again, Emilee like never gets headaches. My mom and I both became actual caregivers as well, and we still are.
How do you think this experience changed your understanding of family?
When an experience like this happens, I think you find out how and who your family really is. It shows a completely different side of everybody who's involved. I learned to appreciate my family more, because A lot of the time I took my family for granted. I kind of learned like your family's gonna be who sticks with you through everything the most.
If you could share one message with people about stroke recovery, what would it be?
Don't give up. It's a very slow process, especially when it's at the level of what happened to Emilee. Her stroke happened 5 years ago. There are still some things that she does have to work on to reach like full recovery. It's a miracle how far she's come. She just has such an amazing mindset about it. She's very positive.
Is there something you would want others to know about Emilee, who she is beyond her medical experience?
I'm biased because I'm her sister, but she's always been one of the kindest people I've ever been blessed to know in my lifetime. She always cares so much about other people over herself, even after everything that happened. And I really admire Emilee for who she is as a person, and I would love to be more like that someday.
My name is Emilee O'Hara. I'm from Chandler, Arizona, and I am going to be turning 20 in March.
How has your stroke changed your daily life, and are there certain things that you can't do anymore?
Of course, definitely. It's put a huge dent in my life where I'm not able to be independent, and it takes a lot of time for me to do things like process. Also lost a lot of function on one side of my body. I think it's called like hemiparesis.
How has your experience with healthcare been like?
My experience with healthcare has been indifferent. It's really hard for me to get an appointment with the neurologist since he's so busy. But then, like naturopathic doctors, they have been nothing but amazing to us, and that's what's been helping me heal, going the natural route. They seem to have a lot more flexibility in appointments, you know. My neurologist, he hadn't had an appointment for me for like more than a year. I've been doing therapy and treatments for 5 years straight.
Has your experience changed the way that you see life?
Yes, definitely. So hard not being able to see the same. My vision impairment was humongous. Had lots of optic nerve damage.
My last and final question is there any information that you want to make sure people learn about your experience, especially for future researchers, scientists, and clinicians that were working in this area?
When I was in a coma, doctors basically came up to my parents and they said that they put do not resuscitate on me. They were just like, she doesn't have a big chance. And they just gave it out the plain way that it would be. It would be nice. They gave just like at least a little hope. Because since I was young, you know how the brain keeps rewiring like as it grows up. There's so much more research than there were back then about neuroplasticity. Really do wish that doctors and people would influence that instead of just letting families down. Because putting us in that dark position, it really let us down.
If your heart was full of love, could you give it up? 'Cause what about angels? They will come